Hey, how's everybody doing? I hope everybody's having a great day. I'm back again. Nicole will not be with me for the next couple of videos. However, I do want to make a couple of comments before I do get into the video here. You will notice that Nicole was with me in a video, and we had not been together in a video for 8 years for reasons that I've mentioned many times in the past. And I wanted to mention this because I did go and I took a look at the video afterwards. I kind of watched it. And the one thing that I noticed, and a few other people actually cued in on it too, is, after 8 years, we haven't lost our touch at all, have we? The magic was still there, so to speak, if that's the appropriate word to use. And I think it really didn't matter what we were talking about, to be quite honest with you. We could have been talking about opening a can of beans up, all right? And it probably would have been just as much fun to watch, because I think the thing that was most important is the ebb and flow. When you have two people, now I'm going to use the titles here: twin flames, soulmates, divine partnership, whatever the hell you want to call it, just a relationship, period, of any kind. And you can have two people who have been together for 25 years now. That's a long time. And when they can get up after 25 years and do what we did on a video, all right, and we can do it with that ebb and flow that appears to other people as if we got some kind of magical thing going on between the two of us, and it was great to watch. Well, I think we've got something to say that's worth listening to. There is no replacement for experience. There is nothing that can replace the magic of two people who know how to work the energies from experience. And the experience of working the energies does not come in a short space of time. There's no magic bullet. There's no magical workshop, no magical method. It takes time, it takes effort, and it's a process of initiation in the formulation of relationships that is going to take form on this planet, come hell or high water. And I'm going to say to you this: I can't give you a magical workshop like some of the twin flames up on YouTube are advertising, that they've got a surefire method to get you together with your twin flame, or they've got a formula or a workshop that's going to help a whole hundreds and thousands of twin flames to come together. I can't claim to do that. And personally, I think they're all full of shit, because neither can they. And what happens is, once we accept the fact that the effort of the new formulations of relationships is coming upon us, and we realize that each of these cases of two people coming together in whatever form it's going to take time. Why is it going to take time, and why is there no magic bullet or workshop or process that's going to shorten it for them? Is because every individual is exactly that, an individual. The ingredients of, or the composition of their state of mind and state of consciousness is the containment field for all of their belief systems, ideologies, and philosophies. And there's no one way or one workshop or one method. Each and every couple that come together have and will go through a process. That process will be lengthy, and there's no short form, abbreviated, or fast track to get you there. In spite of what some twin flames are trying to promote up on YouTube, this is why I don't do workshops on twin flames and getting a whole pile of videos and audios and streaming, all right, and answering questions for people going through this process. Why? simply because the process is individual to the two people that's having it. There's no meditation or no workshop or no shortcut to get you there. There isn't, in spite of what some of them are trying to sell you and tell you. We've even now, at this particular point, got some rookies up on YouTube, people below their 30s, saying they've got it together and they know a short way to do it, and they've got all kinds of this and that. Listen closely to what I'm going to say, and then take some of what's being given as a grain of salt some other people are doing, all right? Be cautious here. Everyone having these new formed relationships is going to go through that process. The timeline it's going to take is already been preloaded and downloaded within you. And because we live in a timeline right now, and I'm going to give you this right from source, there is no shortcut. There is no magic meditation. There is no magic workshop or video that's going to do it for you. At the very best that I can do is I would never do a workshop. I would never do a shortcut, supposedly, for get together with you with your twin flame or whatever title you want to use. I would simply take you on as an individual person or as a couple and create for you, individually and unique to you, a method for you. And because I create it for you, it's no good for anybody else. Do you understand what I'm saying, folks? You can't put this into a workshop and say this is going to be successful for 75 or 80% of the people. It's not going to work. It's just too individual. It's too unique. It's too sacred. It's too special. You don't need a twin flame expert to do this. You need a specialist. Moi, Nicole. You need a specialist. And that's why we're here. Just want to kind of make that point, because I'm seeing things out there that a lot of people are motivated by popularity, egos, and how much money they can make in a short space of time. And I'm about none of those things. Yes, we make a few bucks, and we live as other people do, but we're not doing the same thing they're doing. And you're going to find that out over this next two videos, okay? So pay attention to these next two videos. A little bit of a long thing there, but I just wanted to kind of make a couple of points aware of, because I've been prowling around on YouTube over the last few days, and I'm seeing things that are just not right, okay? But I want you to finally remember something. If any of you are out there listening and you're kind of new to the channel, or you're new to the twin flame thing, watch the video of me and Nicole. And you can see we got it, okay? We got it. And I can tell you something. You either got it or you don't when it comes to twin flames. And you can't fool people anymore if they're intuitive or they're awake at any level. And as I go around, and I can safely say this, as I go around on YouTube and I look at all of these twin flames couples together up on YouTube, I only found one that's got it. One other couple. One. Only one. Think about that. Only one. And I've been up on YouTube for 13 years. And I know a twin flame when I see them. Only one. If they can't do what we did, and they have the ebb and the flow, and it doesn't matter what they're talking about, it's enchanting just to watch the ebb and the flow between the two of them. And they're not trying to sell you coffee cups or t-shirts or workshops or going to seminars with 600 and 700 people. you probably got a real set of twin flames. Think about that. Okay, now, the next video is the reason I kind of went on a little bit, because this is only going to be a short video. Me do a short video? Yeah, when did you see that last? Okay, anyways, what I wanted to kind of get into here today in this video was something that I'm seeing a lot of. And I'm going to get my glasses here for a moment, because what I am seeing, and I'm going to move my mouse for a minute here, because I'm on the bottom of the page. I have on the thing, this is something I noticed in going around, all right? And I've been spending also a little bit of time, I'm kind of on a little bit of downtime right now. So I got some time to kind of wander around, poke around, see around what everybody else is doing. And I've noticed a big thing that's happening with a lot of people when they come into this twin flame connection. All right, you will note I'm using the word twin flame connection. That immediately, and this is natural, okay, and I'm not trying to criticize people here, but I want to point out something. And this is natural phenomenon, and it takes place just about with everybody. That when they have that euphoric connection with the other person, right off the bat, okay, is they usually go into the bubble love and everything's wonderful. You all know how that works. And what happens then after the bubble love phase, or during it even, and it can happen to both people, is the famous words that I see and I use so often: expectations, agendas, conditions, assumptions, etc., etc., etc. all start coming into play in these connections. They do. And when they come in to play, you're going absolutely nowhere with your twin flame connection. And someone's going to come up and they're going to say right off the bat, but Mel, if it's a connection of a high vibration in a new order, I mean, isn't it right to have expectations from it? No, it's not. Right then. Okay. Because when you have the expectations that come from your old belief systems about relationships that you may have had in the past, or what has been expected that you've been taught about relationships that should come from a relationship. And in many cases, many of you have found out that when you've gone and started having this connection with someone, great many of you will tell one or two of your close friends, or usually ladies do this more than men do, is they'll go and tell their girlfriend or their best friend, you know, well, I'm having this real connection with this girl or this guy or whatever, but we're having a little bit of a trivialities are going on, and you start getting advice, well, because, you know, this is a relationship, you're perfectly justified in having expectations, and you're perfectly within your rights to want this to happen and that to happen, and this is the way it is. And in a lot of cases, it's based on your past failures in relationships create new expectations, which create new belief system. So somewhere along the line, what this does, it turns a potentially very, very high vibrational connection, potentially a very high vibrational connection, into complete chaos, because what happens is you and the other person usually say, well, I got to get a handle on this, I got to get control of this, and the expectations dig in. And the agendas start coming up, and the assumptions start coming into play. You assume this about him, or he assumes that about her. Assumptions, conditions, expectations, agendas have no place initially in the twin flame connection during the symptomatic stage. Somebody went, huh? What did he say? They have no place in the symptomatic stage of the twin flame connection, which I'm going to get into the next video, and I'm going to tell you just what chaos some people have created. Now I'm going to mention to you something that happened in the past. I did a couple of videos here, 4 or 5 months ago, and I talked about allowing. Okay, I want you all to remember that word again, allowing. You see, I'm kind of a weird old fox. I'll use whatever method is necessary to get the message in. And sometimes repetition, I've learned, is a very good program to use. Because sometimes we hear, but all it does is go in one ear, and it just blows out the other side, and there's nothing in between. Because so many of us are got an empty space in between one ear and the other, and all we do is have entertainment modules in there. Okay? Kind of thing. In those videos, I remember the big message was allow your twin flame connection to come into form. In order to do that, you have to eliminate from yourself agendas, expectations, assumptions, all of that form. And people are going to say, but Mel, you have to have some kind of expectations or agendas in the twin flame connection. Yes, you do, but not during the symptomatic stage. Call them symptoms, if you will. But how do I do that? By acknowledging the fact from someone who knows what they're talking about that prior to your twin flame connection, you have a whole resume of relationship expectations, assumptions, agendas based on previous experiences of relationships that you've had in the past, or information that you've gleaned from your parents, from your girlfriends or your guy friends or whatever, or your social group, as to what to expect from relation. And this is really, really paramount with younger people at this particular point in time. So now, why is that happening? My video, I think, got cut out at 17 minutes again. Okay, we're off. We had a little jam up there for a minute there. My video stopped. I don't know, maybe a bleep in there or a missing part. But the other thing that I was mentioning here, I was talking about, this is very, very rampant amongst young people under 30 years of age, who in their social network start building a whole pile of assumptions, agendas, and belief systems based on the fact of their social circles or things that they're doing. Okay, and here we go, it's stuck again. Don't tell me this whole video. Okay, I do apologize, having some video problems here, but I'm going to repeat this again here. Young people below their 30s are building these agendas, expectations, assumptions, and new belief systems from their social circle in this particular timeline. So all of this is integrated into this particular pattern. So what it ends up is this, is when we come to this process where we're at now, the evolutionary process of relationships changing and evolving, we need to let go of all of this stuff, because all of this stuff is incorporated or creates new belief systems, all from what I call the emotional experience of love, relationships, and sexuality. So when going in to your twin flame connection, the best piece of advice that I can give you is don't take your expectations, assumptions, agendas, and everything else, etc., into it with you. Put it to the side, and now I'm going to give you the reason why I say this. as you go through the symptoms, of which I'll be talking about in the next video, of the twin flame connection, what's going to happen is this. Pay attention to this part, okay? I should do that on a t-shirt and sell them. Right? Pay attention. Pay attention to this part. What's going to happen is as you have this connection with your twin flame and you go through, the separation, the runner, and all of that other stuff that they yak about, what's going to happen is you're going to get all of your buttons pushed, and all of this stuff is going to start coming out. And as it starts coming out, it's going to do something that we don't do well. People, I'm going to say this, and don't be insulted or think I'm criticizing you. We don't change easily. We don't like change, and we don't like change when it comes to us personally, emotionally, and especially when it comes to our belief systems. We don't like change. We don't like being put on the defensive. We don't like having our buttons pushed. That's why this evolutionary process of relationship is so tricky. And you need to be really friggin' careful as to what information you put in. Because what's going to happen is that the information you put in, as you are going along and you're going through these emotional fits and dumping and processing, you're going to be creating new belief systems as you change. In some cases, they could be even worse than what they were before, if you're not careful, or they gradually will be a little better. And as you get better by dumping some of this stuff of your old belief systems, agendas, assumptions, expectations of relationships, you then can be in a position where your personality matures, if I can put it that way, and you get beyond the teenager in love romance and the fantasy stage, and you get into a situation where you become a mature male or a mature woman in that particular aspect. And for a lot of you, it's not coming very easily. You're dragging your feet. You're shuffling along. And you go, I don't want to do that. I just want it to go away. I want it fixed. Is there a magic meditation, or isn't there a magical cure for me or my twin flame? Or isn't there a workshop or a meditation I can go and it's all fixed in, 3 days or 12 videos, or cost me $600 and it's all done for me? That's what some of them will tell you, but it's not so. So anyways, what happens is as you continue to grow and evolve, your personality will change, evolve, and mature. And as it does so, it will create new belief systems. That is why I say to you, don't try to put it together based on your present belief systems or wherever you are right now. All right, if you're not together, so to speak, then do the personal work and the change that needs to be done, and you will evolve and grow. Your personality will change along with your belief systems, expectations, and even your agenda, and the way you make assumptions will be more intuitive than, in some cases, sheer stupidity. All right, when you're making assumptions. Assumptions can be the death of a relationship or a connection in less than seconds. Microseconds, it can be the death of a connection. Assumptions will kill the best of connection. You see. Intuition, expressed in a negative form through the emotional body of the solar plexus, does that. Did you get that part? Intuition is the higher part of that aspect. Pay attention to what I just said. Go back and listen to it 2 or 3 times. So what happens is as you go along and you change, you evolve, you grow, you're in a position now you can create new belief systems. With those belief systems now you can create expectations because you're not who you were before from your old relationship template. All of those agendas, expectations, and assumptions are now gone. So now you can create new ones based on who you are now, not who you were then, and all of the relationships that you've had in the past. And this is the thing that I'm seeing with so many people these days, and they just don't get it. They don't get it. And this is why so many of you are going through so much pain and agony in this twin flame connection, when it's not necessary. Listen to polished, experienced specialists in the twin flame connection and the evolutionary process. Moi, Nicole, we know what we're talking about. We know because we do it. Pay attention when we're talking. You can learn something. Okay, now, I think the message got through on that particular video. I hope so anyway. Keep in mind, I'm not criticizing anybody. But the point I want to emphasize here is this. Remember this and remember this part also. Every twin flame connection is different than anybody else's on the planet. Remember that part. It is so unique and so individualized. You need a rocket scientist to assist you on the way. Because this is skyrockets in flight. And I built the rocket. So, when somebody tells you they got a video, or a series of videos, or they got a workshop, or a meditation, or a method that's going to bring thousands or hundreds of twin flames together, you can tell them they're full of shit. Because any twin flames that advertise themselves as doing that have not come to union. They have not. They're still experiencing symptoms of grandeur, ego, and personality issues. I should rub a few feathers. Have a great day, everyone.